Hello, how are you? This is week 11, I'm pretty sure, Ring a Ring a Roses. So this nursery rhyme is actually about the bubonic plague, the Black Death, which is a little bit depressing, but just to give you a little background information, the roses and the daisies, so the reference to the flowers was to help get rid of the smell, and the roses bit actually was the rash that came along with it. So there you go. So you've got the rhyme to start with. It's a good start, isn't it, to a video? Sorry about that. But, you know, history, learning point, up to you again, depending on the age of your kids, how you want to go about that or just keep it as a nursery rhyme. So we've used it as, particularly with COVID and everything else going on at the moment, which I have kept the COVID germs on there because that makes it relevant to what we're going through today. So we've got the wash your hands activity, so you can sing the nursery rhyme all the way through. So it's recommended to wash your hands for about 20 seconds, at least 20 seconds. So it's about 9 to 10 seconds for each verse. So if you sing it the whole way through while you wash your hands, it's just a good reminder and a good, well, it's not visual, is it, for little ones, an auditory reminder as well, to sing the nursery rhyme. And then once the nursery rhyme is up, that's how long they have to wash their hands for, then they can stop. Yes, so we've got that poster. We've then got when you cough or sneeze. So you're going to cough into your elbow. There will be places, so we had to wear a mask for only a week here in Perth, but there will be places where you still have to wear a mask or completely stay home, which is recommended here still as well if you are sick. But if you're out, and then hay fever is the worst when you've got COVID going around because everyone just looks at you like you're diseased when it's just flowers. But anyway, so we cough or sneeze into our elbow or a tissue. We put our tissue in the bin and then we wash our hands. Yeah, and we get into that habit of washing our hands or sanitizing our hands every time so we're not spreading our grossness around. Yeah, we've also got when you blow your nose. So you blow your nose into a tissue, put your tissue in the bin, then wash your hands. Now I'm finally a little bit more talented when it comes to Illustrator. So I've managed to change up the kids. Yeah. So it took me a while because I'm self-taught. I learned Illustrator last year, I think. So I've been able to, you know, understand the layers better, change up the colors, understand how it works. This one, for example, was 3 different bits of artwork that I've managed to layer together so that we've now got different colored kids who aren't in their tribal outfits. So that was another issue, to chuck them in everyday clothing and then bring them into this sort of thing. So there you go. They're not all white kids. I'm quite proud of that. I hope you like it too, because, you know, we get those comments all the time. Completely fair enough. And now I can cater for that. So that's where we were up to. This one I'm going to cut out. So a good cut and paste activity. Now, me being me, I'm just going to ditch all these bits of the flower, but they look pretty, so I left them there. Completely up to you if you want to do that, if you want to laminate it first. I'm just going to do it as is. So cut around the basic edges, join them both together, make a crown. I'll run through that soon. This one, I thought it would be fun cutting out a puzzle. It really isn't. Where is my puzzle? It's over here. So I will do this in fast forward as well. Puzzles are really good for resilience. So we've got proper puzzle pieces for the first time. Problem solving. And so resilience is when you keep trying something and not necessarily getting it the first time. Yeah, so that's a good one you can do. So problem solving and resilience tend to go hand in hand with activities. Particularly for puzzles. Puzzles are also good, which I didn't understand till, so my girl's on the spectrum as well. So her spatial awareness isn't brilliant. So you tend to, you know, I guess the first thing you learn with puzzles is do the edges first. So you get all your edges pieces out. My girl would not do this. And I asked the OT once why. And it was because my girl didn't understand her body within the world, so she didn't understand the concept of edges, and that also played out in puzzles, which I thought was really interesting. So she's generally always bumping into you. If she's holding your hand, she'll have a death grip on your hand, and it's all got to, so trips easily as well, and it's all got to do with not understanding the boundaries of her body, I suppose, and her place in the world, like literally her place where she's standing. And yeah, that concept came for puzzles as well. So that'd be really interesting to watch with your little ones. If they do struggle with that, it could be because they're not understanding where their body fits in to things. So there you go. Some interesting information for you. And while I've been doing that, I've put the puzzle together anyway, so I might as well finish. So yeah, the resilience thing coming in that it's a little bit difficult, particularly for younger ones who haven't learnt those concepts of we do edges first. So we start with our corners, then we add in the edges, then we add in the middle of the picture. So hopefully this will help with that. It's a little bit frustrating, so I'm finding it a little bit frustrating. You know when you've got a puzzle and you put it into a frame, it kind of locks in and stays still. This one's a little bit more difficult, so I would probably do this as a cut and paste activity. Get an A4 sheet of paper, don't worry about laminating it, which I did for this one, and then paste it down onto the paper as you go. So I'll move that one again. Hopefully that information was a bit, or someone will find it useful. Where did I get to? Okay, the crown I will do in fast forward in a sec. This one, we're actually going to make a flower. You've seen next week's activity as well, this little piggy. So this one, we're going to fold the page into 4. There, so we shouldn't end up with any writing on the pieces. I'm going to cut, so I'm cutting once, but I should get 4 petals per front page, yes? So I should end up with 6 by 4 is 24. 24 petals, and I've only cut out 6. I'll do that in fast forward and be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. This, it was a bit annoying to cut out. It wasn't too bad. What I didn't realise is that I could have, no, I couldn't have because I flipped it. Never mind. So yeah, cut that one out. And then, which side should I attach? There, so they're pretty close. So I'm going to staple this end together. I'll make sure it's level. There we go. And there. And then size it to your head. All the teddy bears that I normally have in here that I use for these things are gone, so that will have to do. We'll do it about that size there and staple it again. Now it's not going to match up perfectly, but that's all right. I was never going to get artwork that matched every kid's head, so there you go. Then you've got a flower crown. That's actually really cute. I like that. That'd be great for a garden party, birthday party hats, if you felt like cutting them all out. But there you go. The next one, sorry, kick the camera again. So this looks good in my head. It may be an absolute disaster. We will see. I've said to do it with a pop stick, but that's not going to curve around properly because it's flat. So I'm going to try with a straw. What I'm going to do, the plan in my head, I'll go into fast forward in a sec, is to attach each petal. So we're certainly going to be working with fine motor skills here. And I want to kind of bend it out as we go. And then overlap. If you're working with a toddler, I would probably recommend ditching the little petals and working with the bigger ones. Okay, let's try a slightly, yeah, that one's a bit bigger. And then I've got a, oh no, I reckon it'll work. It's going to take me a little while. Certainly good for fine motor skills. The sticky tape's going to get messy, but that doesn't matter. Can you see my mess under there? That's not going to matter because I can just fix that up at the end. So in fast forward, I'm going to continue doing this. So spinning them around, overlapping them as I go and getting layers and layers of the petal. I'm then going to drizzle over the paint just because I can. And I've got them in these little tubey things. IKEA, if you're after them, it was about $15 for 7 different colors. I'm going to try first doing a sponge. So I'll do yellow first and then try sponging on some orange. If that's a disaster, I've got a paintbrush there as backup. If the whole thing's a disaster, I'll come back and talk to you and go with plan B, which I don't actually have a plan B, so hopefully it works. I will talk to you in a sec. All right, I'm back. It's actually not too bad. I mean, it's rough as guts down the bottom here, but I just plan to, you know, run that round and we should be somewhat good. There we go. And it's an activity. Look, if you want to make it a rose and spend a bit more time and make it perfect, then you could probably use more petals. If you only want to use 5 petals and you're working with a little one, then go ahead and do that. It's pretty cute. Good for fine motor skills. All right, I'll go back to fast forward and you can watch me paint it. Sorry, that wasn't long. I changed my mind while I was doing it. I am not actually going to paint it. I'm going to let it dry like this because it's kind of fun. Yeah, we'll see if we can get some orange in there without butchering it. This would be a good Mother's Day activity as well. I dripped a tiny bit on me, but there you go. There's a pretty flower. All right, I'm pretty sure that's all from this week. I think I went through all the activities. I'll check in a sec. But at the moment, I'm going to go and wash my hands and I will talk to you soon. Bye.